Hello, Truth Seekers. Lawrence here, and welcome to Easy Enlightenment. So, at some point in the spiritual practice, it's easy to get defensive. And this is supposed to happen to see how much ego is still left to dismantle. The purpose of the spiritual practice is to dissolve all ego so we can see who we are without the mind, without the ego. And when the defensiveness is there, that shows the ego in us, isn't it? That shows the righteousness in us. The spiritual practice supposed to dissolve the layers in us. And definitely it is helping us to dissolve certain layers. But also we are adding new layers by being part of the spirituality. Notice how much ideas you have collected by being part of the spiritual practice. And from that, notice how much experience you have collected. And from that experience, notice how the ideas are ingrained in you. And when the certain idea ingrains in us, and when we hear certain ideas in spirituality that is against what you have, that will definitely make you defensive, isn't it? Definitely. When some message comes out towards you in a way that, no, that is not true. And when your life is moving with that, ideas and experience, the ego naturally comes out to fight. Just notice how many times you have fought with certain ideas in your life. When the fight is there, ego is there. And aren't we forgetting the true reference of the spiritual practice, which is about dissolving the ego? Have you heard the idea in the spiritual practice called neti neti? Not this, not that. We have to give up everything to get to the truth. But we forget the reference, and we are already ingrained in a certain reference, a preference, and something comes out against you, boom, there's a mental fight. There's a verbal fight. The drama prolongs. And it's good. The defensiveness is coming and it's good. If you don't get defensive in the spiritual practice, then you are already in deep sleep. That defensiveness, that righteousness is at least the start to see that how much ego we have in the spiritual practice. Then once we see our fight, the defensiveness, the righteousness in us, then we can work on that to dissolve the righteousness, to dissolve the defensiveness, to dissolve the fight with the world, and also dissolving the fight within. So you are you are lucky somewhat to create the, to be part of the fight, but recognize the fight that you're fighting. Now, let's begin the journey by being part of the inquiry. Why am I fighting? Why I'm so defensive with certain reference that is coming towards me? And this simple inquiry, why, is going to help us to see the root cause of being defensive. The ego doesn't like to be wrong. That's why the defensive quality comes out. Your ego is defensive because the ego is afraid to die. And what's the purpose of the spiritual practice? It's about dying in the ego. It's a death of the ego, makes us see who we are. And that's freedom. But when something happens, we are so easily triggered and easily lose ourselves in the drama just to protect the belief we have, just to protect the experience we have, and prove ourselves right. What I have is correct. And when we hold on to those things, the experience and idea, that's where the fight begins. Fighting to protect something is a struggle too. We are inviting struggle in our lives. We seek freedom, but holding on to something and protecting something is unnecessary stress we are inviting. Especially when it's a spiritual practice, nothing is true. Nothing is true means all ideas that we have collected in us is not true. All the experience we have collected in our mind is not true. Why? Because all ideas and experience are changing. And all experience and ideas are happening on the consciousness. Like the dot on the consciousness, dot on the canvas. Or experience and ideas are like the coloring on the consciousness. And we are forgetting the consciousness and lost on the colors or a dot, which is the experience and belief. We are lost in that. The real journey, the real spiritual journey, is about finding the background, figuring out the background that supports all experience and all ideas to come and go. And we are lost in the experience, lost in ideas. By holding on to ideas and belief and protecting that and fighting with that is the ego. Spiritual idea and experience is the highest meaning for the human. And when there is upgraded meaning and experience there, we fight for it. And when we fight, again, that shows how much ego we have in us. And if we recognize the ego, then we can work on dismantling the ego. Dismantling the ego is to go to no ego. And the background that supports all experience and all ideas is no ego. So we need to get there. And how to get there is by investigating on why we fight. Today we're talking about being defensive with certain ideas that is present in the world. We don't like it. Especially the truth, the reference of the truth, we don't want to hear it. Because the reference of the truth is not this, not that. Everything must go. And what you have is the idea. And that must go. And when you hear this, there is the fight, there's defensiveness. Now, so we're talking about the defensive, how we get defensive with holding on to the idea and forgetting the true reference of the spiritual practice. All must go. Not this, not that. So let's look into why we get defensive. Ask yourself, why am I defensive in my spiritual practice? Not just with one ideas and experience. There could be a lot of other stuff piling in your life. When you start to investigate, then you will see it. So why am I defensive? You can also, not just a spiritual practice, you can also look into your defensiveness in the world with the people. We fight there as well, isn't it? In the relative sense and also spiritual sense, we fight. We have that defensiveness in us. So you can simply be part of the inquiry on defensiveness and ask yourself, why am I defensive on whatever you are being defensive? And see how much you can trace back on this defensiveness today. When you ask why, you will definitely have the answer for your defensiveness. There's always something protecting it. For that, you're fighting. So there's a reason. So when you ask, why am I defensive? There is the answer. Now, when you see the answer, why is that important? Or why do I have this answer? And that second why is going to give you the second answer. No matter what answer you will see, keep asking why. And this is the way to see the root cause of your defensiveness. And after that, that root has to be dismantled as well, using the why again. The root is the ingrained belief. And then that root has to be dismantled to see the fear. Fear has to be dismantled to be free. So, it's good you are defensive. Now let's investigate why you are defensive. Every fight you're going through is a way we can trace back to figure out the truth of who we are. So if you're interested in yourself, then interested in yourself to be free from your mind, to free from a drama, to be free from the fear, inquiry is a simple process that will lead you towards the truth. I hope this video makes sense to you to some extent. I hope you're enjoying the backward movement. Thank you for your support so far. Keep supporting this channel. That will help me a little. Yeah, that's all in this video. Take care for now. See you in the next video. Bye.